Alright, so today is Wednesday, August 25th. It's about 7:28 p.m. to be exact, and we're looking at a chart of the Aussie US dollar here. So this is going to be new. It's going to be a live trade, win or lose. We'll see. I'll put it on the blog, and I'll just point out what I'm trying to do here. So we're actually starting off with a daily chart. Get rid of some of these lines, make this cleaner. So price is essentially coming up to a area of resistance. We're getting this level off this point right here. As you can see, if we zoom out, this is a pretty significant level. It's fairly eye-catching, right? So, we know, or we can assume, there's going to be a lot of people watching this area and using it as a level for support or resistance. Now, we can confirm this by looking at the reaction to this level. Well, as you can see here, the price was rejected off. Then again, we had a little hiccup here before we actually broke through. And then on the way back down, we had support, support, and as you can see on this candle right here, price managed to breach through, close below this swing point right here, which gives me a feeling that we're going to see some continued selling, right? We had this big reversal bar, then a very weak candle. So the idea here being we're going to get, or rather I am going to get short on any retracement to what was support, which should now function as resistance. So price is in this channel and has been for a while, as you can see, and we're looking at a daily chart. So this is how I define my level I wanted to participate in. Now going down to a 4-hour chart, I'm looking at price action again. There's a bounce there. Price pierces through, right? Rejected again. On the bottom side, you can see we broke through. What was support is now resistance. And after a good sized sell-off, we actually put in a reversal candle in the 4-hour, and we're coming right back up to it, right? So that's that's one of the things working in my favor here. Now, the other thing I'm looking at is this trend line right here, going from this swing high to this swing high. As you can see, price is still sitting under this level, all right? Now, if we do manage to get a close above this, I would imagine price continues on up, and at that point, I'm no longer interested. But until then, I do think this is a good area to get short. In other words, I do think there's an edge here. So let's take it down further to a 15-minute chart. And as you can see, we have not had a 15-minute close above this line yet, which is encouraging. All right. So now the next question is, what's going to be reference for the short? Well, as you can see, we can plot this line right here from this point to this point. And as you can see, we actually tagged it right here. And we're coming down to this level again. So there's a couple ways I can do this. As you can see, this was a reversal bar, or sort of reversal bar that formed off the line. I bet there's a lot of longs that got in here, and hoping price to go up. Now, if we break this point, their stops will be below there, and at that point, I would like to get short. Another way I could play this out would be to watch the 5-minute action. Right, as you can see, we do have some topping tails here, and then we do have a nice bearish close. Now, if this candle has a similar close rather below this line, that would be another indication to get short. So I'll actually wait a few more sessions on the 5-minute and see what happens. All right, so it looks like this candle just closed. A couple things happened here. We actually had a break of not only this trend line, but we also managed to break this swing point right here in the same candle, right? Another thing to notice here is that we do have it completely shaped on the bottom side. So I've gone ahead and entered a short position at this point, and my stop is going to be just above this high. So I will pause the tape again and come back in a few sessions and see how this trade develops. Alright, so it's been a few more sessions here. Looking at a 15-minute chart again. And as you can see, we had a very solid close here. In this candle, not so much, right? We pushed down, broke this swing point, and then buyers pushed it right back up. But we do still have a couple things lining up in our favor. Again, we did have this support resistance. We had a break of the trend line. And we'll go over a couple other things in a minute here. Going back to the hourly candle, we can see the hourly candle did close, right? But you can see that we did push down. We had a nice solid break at the low, and then buyers pushed it right back up. So it's not the most promising hourly candle, but we do, again, here have a lower high and a lower low. All right. and again a bearish candle. So one thing I like to do is to go over the risks and monitor the trade. That's something that is very crucial when once you're in a trade, being aware of what's going on and what to be aware of. So keeping that hourly candle and the 15-minute candle in mind, it's important to be very cautious here and see at what price is up to. Now, if we drop to a lower time frame, this being a 5-minute time frame, we can get an idea of what these near-term support resistance levels are doing, if they're holding, and what buyers and sellers have in mind here. So one thing I like to do is go into a lower time frame, and I'll actually draw them out. So we actually have a swing point right here, and then we have another level right here. So as you can see, we actually pushed up into the swing point right here because we formed a lower swing low. Now we're going up to form a swing high, right? So what we'd like to see is a lower swing high. And you can see there's a little bit of selling pressure coming in here, and the close was below the level, but again, we need to see the next few candles, do the same and keep forming these lower swing highs, lower swing lows, and essentially put another down leg in. All right. Now, if we don't get that and price does manage to break the high here, then we'll be stopped out. And the important thing there is to manage risk accordingly and do something that you're very comfortable with, and that you can take many stop outs in a row before you're actually in a tough spot. That way when you do come across drawdowns, when you do hit a losing streak, then you will be okay. All right. A couple things. That's pretty much what I'm watching on these lower time frames. Looking at how this 15-minute candle closes and how it lines up across all these things that I'm seeing. Now, there is one more thing which I'd like to point out here, and that is news. All right. And over here, as you can see, we actually have some news coming out in about less than 30 minutes, about 20 minutes or so. So if we go down to today, 9:30 Aussie, right? And this is a red flag. So over here you can see what the what the forecast is previous, and then get a little bit of a rundown on on what it is. You kind of get an idea of how the previous forecasts have stacked up with expectations, and you can see here for the most part they've done a very poor job of predicting this thing. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. So that's another part of management, right? When we do come into these news times, volatility will pick up. You'll see that sometimes price can behave irrationally. Essentially, fundamentals can trump technicals in a heartbeat. So one thing I like to do is, if we do have significant cushion here, coming into the news hours, then I will move to break even. I really don't like letting a profitable trade turn into a losing one. But again, if I am just sitting here, at my entry level, then I will just leave my stop in, and I know that I have a good edge on a technical level. And I know if the news is in my favor, then I will see a very accelerated rundown, right? If not, I'll be stopped out very quickly, and that's okay because I'm in my money management rules. So at this point, I'm just going to kind of let price do its thing, monitor it closely. News will be out in 20 minutes, so I will do what I see accordingly to what I think is the best way to manage a trade. And I'll definitely shoot another video later on to try and describe the steps I took and how the trade resulted. So that one should be up shortly. All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate your time.